Go a few months back and I was complaining about how quick the turnaround was for the Fantasy Premier League and the Premier League fixture list. Shouldn't have been complaining because the Euros is so much quicker. So Matchday 1 isn't even over and I already have to do my video for Matchday 2 because I am playing the Limitless chip and I wanted to give you some of my thoughts going into Matchday 2 with enough time for you guys to watch the content and then make your own decisions. So yes, I still have some players that haven't played in Matchday 2 yet, and to be honest, this Limitless team is very likely to change because I haven't got all the data from all the fixtures in Matchday 1. So apologies if this team isn't what I end up going with completely, but do make sure to follow me on Twitter to see my final team before the deadline for Matchday 2. But enough admin, let's actually get into how I've done so far in the Euro Fantasy 2020 game. To be fair, I'm not sure what I was expecting going into this tournament. I did do some research and pick a side that I was relatively happy with. And we did, of course, bring in an Italian as soon as we saw the fixture list. And we went with Berardi. But let's start off with the goalkeeper and defence. But goalkeeper-wise, we actually changed from what I did in my video. I'm pretty sure I went with Donnarumma and Hradecky on the bench. However, we decided to save some money in the goalkeeper position and bring in Hradecky and another goalkeeper that was budget to make sure we had more money to spend elsewhere, and that turned out to pay off for at least this match day because Hradecky of course got that clean sheet in the game against Denmark as well as a penalty save, and thoughts go out to Christian Eriksen and his family of course. Glad to hear that he is doing okay. And then of course in defence we also had Spinazzola, who was in the official video on this channel, and Spinazzola definitely looked dangerous and I was very happy with his returns. However, that's the only return we got from defence because our defender picks were pretty terrible across the board apart from Spinazzola. We had the Danish guy's name that I cannot say for the life of me. He managed to get 2 points. That's pretty good for a defender on my team, and we did change to Alioski because we were hoping he might get a penalty and get a goal from defence, but unfortunately, he got nothing in the defeat to Austria. Moving on to midfield, we did have some decent performances from Wijnaldum, who looked very good in the Netherlands game against Ukraine, and I'm pretty happy with him moving forward. Looks like he could be very dangerous in this tournament. We also had Berardi doing the business for us with 6 points, getting an assist to an own goal when he drilled it across the box, and Italy looked very promising across the board with defence and attackers, which you'll see in my Limitless squad. Apart from that though, it was 3 points across the board for Souček, Llorente and Torres, although I did get very excited when I got told that Souček got the assist for, is it Schick's really good goal from like the halfway line, which I haven't actually seen myself yet, but I've been told it's pretty damn impressive. Llorente actually looked quite promising as a right back because he did get forward a lot. However, Spain just don't seem to have the cutting edge, and with Alvaro Morata up front, I don't think they're going to score many goals, so we're not too keen on the Spanish assets after the game tonight. And then up front we have Lukaku, who I've stuck the captaincy armband on in the second day of Matchday 1, and we haven't moved it since because, to be honest, 2 goals, I think I'm happy with that return. And even though we've got Ronaldo coming up tomorrow, or today when you watch this video, I don't think I'm going to move the captaincy armband because I think I should just stick with any player that gets 2 goal returns. Lukaku looked very good in a Belgian side that looked very promising, and if I knew whether Kevin De Bruyne would come back or who would definitely start in that team outside of Lukaku, I probably would go a bit Belgium heavy in my Limitless play, but I'm a bit suspect about that because you don't exactly get the press conferences you usually get with the Premier League, and I don't know who's necessarily going to start. So, at the moment I'm on 66 points. The rank you see on screen might be correct, or it might be the rank I had yesterday, and it was 45,407th. However, I imagine that if I have changed it, it will be a lower rank than that because my Spanish players and Souček didn't do amazing, and I imagine people had Spanish defenders in their side who did of course get the clean sheet. So I expect my rank to not be as good as on the screen unless I have managed to update it in the morning. So we move on to match day 2 and we are playing the Limitless chip. Unfortunately that means editing wise I had to make graphics for a lot of new players, which is unfortunate for me when the turnaround of games is so quick, but we get the work in for you guys, of course. So we start off with the goalkeeper and defence, and we've got Olsen starting against Slovakia for Sweden. Now, to be honest, he just got a clean sheet tonight, so potentially they could keep a clean sheet against Slovakia, although I imagine they won't be as defensively minded as they were against Spain. Spinazzola stays in despite me playing the Limitless chip, just because I think that Italy side looked pretty good and Spinazzola looked like a great defensive option. And he's joined by Meunier from Belgium, although I need to hear about Castan and if he is injured or not, because Castan of course did start in that game against Russia. And then we've got Dumfries against Austria for Netherlands. Now, I don't think Netherlands are necessarily going to keep a clean sheet, but Dumfries was very attacking, and I think he had the most big chances of any defender so far in Matchday 1, although that might have not been the case today. Someone might have overtaken him, but I know this morning when I did the research, he definitely did. So those are our 3 defenders, and hopefully we're a little bit luckier with clean sheets or points returns for our defenders in Matchday 2. Moving on to the midfield, we do have some survivors from the last game week, and that would be Berardi and Wijnaldum. Now, Wijnaldum, like I said already, looked very dangerous and very promising going forward, and Berardi the same. However, Berardi has potentially got an injury and may not start in Matchday 2 for Italy, so I need to look into that. And of course, I will have a bit more information on the likes of France, or I might go towards for some midfielders, depending on how well they play in the fixture against Germany. So Berardi is a bit of a risk, but Insigne is also in the side, and Insigne could be a direct replacement if I do look elsewhere against Berardi. We've got Malinovsky, who looked very good for Ukraine and did get an assist in their almost comeback against Netherlands. And we've got Sabitzer, who looked very good for Austria, and I just feel like Netherlands-Austria could be a high-scoring game, because I don't think Netherlands have that great a defensive structure to their side. Then going up front, Lukaku does not change, as he looks like a great spearhead for that Belgian team. And Depay stays in because I'm hoping he can get some returns in Matchday 2. Didn't look terrible in the game just played, so hopefully he will get some points in this one. And then finally on the bench, you can see we've gone France heavy, because we've got Lloris, Pavard and Mbappe, all with that Hungary fixture. Now, Pavard or Lloris could move on to make sure I get someone like Griezmann in as well, potentially, or maybe someone like Pogba. So we'll see how the France game goes before I make that decision. And then joining the French on the bench is Vrsaljko, who is playing for Croatia against the Czech Republic, although of course Czech Republic have just done decent against Scotland, getting the victory, so it could be a very good, interesting game this one. But Vrsaljko looked like he had some good underlying stats that I could maybe take advantage of. So guys, in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this team. Of course, it isn't the final draft, that will happen after all of Matchday 1 is over, but let me know what your thoughts are on this current team. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. As always, if you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your support on the channel has continued into the Euros, so much appreciated. Also check out Fanteam, top link in the description down below. If you want to play Euro Fantasy Football for some cash, you get the average of Matchday 1 as your score if you sign up late before Matchday 2 starts, which could give you more information than a lot of us who have already picked sides in the game. So check that out. And with that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.